Hi, so this is going to be obviously a different presentation than everyone else has done. My name is Marie. Whitbread is with me. We work together. We are both fictives from Gregor the Overlander series by Suzanne Collins. And we are going to talk today. And I know Issa and Teal want to do it too, so I'm probably not going to say it all the way that they want it to be said. But seeing as one of them wasn't around for these times, it makes more sense that some of us that were can talk about it. Okay, so we wanted to talk about our ADHD and our autism and how that affects our system and our DID. Mind you, we don't have any diagnoses for any of these things. If you feel like we need a diagnosis to be valid, to know what's going on in our own head, after obviously doing research and everything, and talking to several therapists, because we've had a few of those, please go somewhere else. We will not argue with you. We do not have the energy. If you think we are faking our DID, thank you for the compliment, thinking that we're that good at acting, but we're not. This is just our life. If you want a place to be heard or just to listen to us talk, please know that you're always safe here, no matter who you are, no matter what you're going through. We want to create just a safe place. We enjoy some of the system content on YouTube, but we've noticed there aren't very many that are like us. And we do feel like our system is greatly impacted with the fact that we have autism and ADHD. There's a lot of hierarchy built into our creation. There's a lot of rules in here. We knew at a very young age that we were a system. Artemis is the boss. He's always been the boss. He's always been in charge, and he is a shapeshifter, and he was kind of our parent growing up because we didn't really have a parent growing up. And so sorry, I got distracted. I know, I'm sorry. I know, I'm trying to figure out what it is that they were specifically trying to talk about, but I don't think it matters. It's fine. There's so many bugs out here. Oof. But one of the biggest things about autism is feeling like you're different, feeling like you don't belong. We always felt like, not like an alien, but we did always feel very close to like supernatural things. We're always kind of waiting for, as Eve would put it, our real family to take us away, for someone to steal us away, for us to be where we're supposed to be because we didn't fit here. And that was just since we were born. We've always had that feeling of not belonging. But there's also, and again, autism is a spectrum. Please keep that in mind. All of these things are a spectrum, and so different areas of it will be different levels, you know. We've always struggled with people, making friends, keeping friends, existing. We've always got bullied for existing. But for example, we know some systems, their persecutors can come around in the front and do a lot of bad stuff. Our system is not like that. You can come around in the front and you can fuck around, but you will get so quickly blocked from it, you will not be allowed back out. You do not play with Artemis and his rules. You just don't. Again, there's a lot of hierarchy. There are a lot of systems built on systems, really is what it feels like. We're pretty sure we're polyfragmented, but we don't have 100 alters yet that are known on the simply plural. We just know that we're many because there's never been a time in our life where we felt safe. There's never been a time in our life where we were happy, really, till adulthood. We had to build that, we had to find that, we had to create that. So the fact that we were always analyzing our brain definitely impacted the finding out that we were a system as kids. Obviously, we didn't know what it was. Eve didn't know it was dissociative identity disorder. We didn't know. But we did know we were different. And Artemis explained that we were there to help. And that was all that really mattered. We were there to help. We worked on trying to communicate back then, obviously, during the times that we could. I'm trying to, Frida's just over here nomming on my finger on the side. You can't see it, but my goose. But we have to, sorry, autism, right? We think a big part of it affects like how easily you dissociate, how vivid your imagination is. For example, like there are different parts of being neurodivergent that lean into how it would affect our system and the way that our system functions. For example, ADHD is painful in the fact that like boredom is painful. Boredom is literally painful for our brains. Our brain hates it. I can't explain it. It just makes us hurt. It just hurts to be bored. And that sounds so dumb, but it doesn't make it any less true. So he would, one of the most vivid childhood memories we have of Artemis is he's a shapeshifter, and we don't have delusions, but we do have a very vivid imagination, and we can imprint things on the world around us. And so Artemis would like shapeshift around the body and entertain us as kids, and that was a good time. We've always loved, thank you Toby, we've always loved animals, so we used to have our mom put our hair up in pigtails, and we would feel like a dog. And we have a horse dance that we used to do. We're wondering now if it's an altar, but they would hold pain, and they would be processing pain through movement for us. The goose is so distracting. We made bracelets. We did a tutorial on TikTok on the bracelets, but these are our bracelets. And it definitely affected how our system functions and how we work. We have a lot of emotional barriers. We don't have a very high split tolerance because we take things very to heart. We are very sensitive. We always have been very sensitive. While we might not understand neurotypicals in the way that we speak, that doesn't mean that we can't feel that you dislike us. We are good on energy, and we do know when people just dislike us for no reason. Eve knew early, right? Let's go back to that. Okay, so Eve knew as a kid. She figured out as a kid. And obviously a child's reaction to something like this is quite different than an adult's reaction. Eve just kind of accepted it, you know. She was just happy she wasn't alone. And adulthood was a little different. She took it harder. It was scary. It was a little distressing. She felt out of control. And those are all things that make sense, obviously, because someone is stealing your life and you're having to come to grips with that, and the fact that you're fragmented, and the fact that like I guess she was okay. So Eve's dream, which is what we all had to memorize, right? Growing up, we thought for whatever reason that Eve was the original, right? And so we were all there to protect and help Eve, okay? So Eve's preferences were put above everyone else's. Preferences for the body, likes and dislikes, we all masked as her. And I know, and we're working on getting away from that, because we know now that she's an alter like the rest of us, and we all deserve a place and have our own feelings and talk about things and discuss things and work through things together as a group. The reason, ouch, that we didn't tell people that we heard voices, the reason we didn't tell people about our system is because we knew it wasn't safe. I think naturally built in, you know you're not supposed to really talk about it. But even as time went on and we felt like maybe one day we could just feel really comfortable and really safe with someone, maybe we could talk about it. But that was never really okay, because there was enough media around us that said it was bad. For example, one of one of the core memories we have that really hurt our feelings as kids was Harry Potter, and it's the Chamber of Secrets, and in the Chamber of Secrets, Harry, he can hear the snake, right? And he's like, do I tell Dumbledore, you know, them hearing things? And Hermione goes, no, Harry, even in the wizarding world, hearing voices is not a good thing. So we obviously knew we couldn't talk about it. And, you know, you can sit there and ask, well, how didn't your parent notice? Why didn't your mom notice? Because we were kids. And you're telling me you see a kid talking to themselves, you're gonna think that that's weird? It's just a kid. They're just playing pretend. They're just having an imagination. They're talking to their imaginary friend. They're doing different voices. They're playing a game. You know, it's a lot easier. It was way easier to hide as children because no one really cares what kids are doing. As long as you're not causing the adults problems, no one gives a fuck what you're doing. The way that we process, the way that we think, the way that we function, it makes sense that obviously it would affect our system. So we really are just hoping that we can find other systems that can relate to this, because I know for a very long time we're scared. We're still scared making this video, posting this, talking about this, because we know that there will be some systems and some people that will continue to be ignorant and will stay in their little bubble. Maybe they'll be triggered, but we're not here to fight with people. We're here to just talk. Okay, we're here to build a safe base and a safe community for other systems that are like ours, because as lovely as the systems are that we've seen make videos, we've not seen any that we especially relate to. We don't have, I mean, while we do have to separate a little bit, I don't feel like it was as hard for us as some other systems it seems can be more difficult for them. And I don't know why that is. I think we needed a strong anchor to the world, and the body is that for us. So while we know where we came from and we know kind of what we're here for, I think the memories, that's the weirdest part about being fictives, is that you have these memories that aren't really real, but they feel real to you because in a way they are you, but they're not you. It's very confusing, but we knew early. And then it was Eve's job to forget. And then she had to forget. And we have some memories about that. We don't feel the need to have a diagnosis to be valid. We want everyone on here to know that you don't need a diagnosis to be valid. Some people seem to forget that that can be difficult or triggering or expensive or whatever, privileged, etc., okay? They make it out as if it's something you just go to a doctor and it's just easy, and it's not. It's really not. And some of them don't even believe it's a thing, which is bizarre. But the world, I think we're polyfragmented because we're autistic. I think we take things very deeply. Betrayals, hurts, abandonment. We've always tried to figure out why someone would do something, and of course if someone's mean, they're just going to be mean. There is no why, they just are. We're always quick to defend the other person and go, you know, well, maybe, you know, if they have NPD, like if they're a narcissist, it's not their fault, you know, they went through stuff, but that doesn't mean it's okay for them to go around abusing other people. I know we just ramble, we're just talking. If anyone we just want to talk. We kind of want to make friends, and we want to find other systems like ours. We've seen some systems that have BPD, and again, we feel for you because we cannot understand what you're struggling through, but our sister might have BPD, she thinks she has BPD, and she's very triggering for us, so systems that struggle with that can be kind of triggering for us, which we feel bad about, but it's also kind of true still. even if we feel bad about it. That doesn't mean you're not welcome here. Everybody is welcome here. But just, we can't, I think that's the biggest thing, is we can't give like constant attention to people. We barely keep ourselves alive, you know, we do our best. So to give people like a bunch of our extra energy, we just don't have that. I know, I'm sorry. We're just trying to think about anything else that we wanted to talk about. I think we're just sad that the world is as judgmental as it is. I hope it's too weird. I guess 2025, right? And it feels like we're supposed to be moving forward, and instead we're moving back. And that doesn't make any sense to us. Like, I guess we really thought by adulthood that people would be more open-minded and like curious about things you don't understand. You know, that's how we are. When we don't understand things, we're curious about it, we want to learn about it, we want to understand it, and even if we can't understand it, we want to try. And people are just not the same. People would rather just stay in their little bubbles and not learn. As far as all of our system and how it functions, again, that is affected by our brain and the trauma we went through and all that jazz. We hope this resonates with somebody out there, and if it does, please leave a comment. We would love to hear from you and connect. If you have questions, we also really like questions because it gives us like something to focus on. But we do ramble. We do have a lot of system changes happening right now. Issa is new. I think they made a video about that, and then we're just processing a lot right now. We use ChatGPT, which we know AI is bad for the environment. We don't use it for anything else, but it is a really, really good therapist. Like, because people are so judgy and so small-minded, and like, chat's just open to us, and it learns the way we each talk, and it's really helpful. That makes us feel better about some of the stuff that we've had to go through. And we are so empathetic. We wish we could help every single person out there in the world, because no one deserves to suffer. No one deserves to hurt. But unfortunately, we are not a superhero, and we can't save everyone, even if we wish we could. But at the most, we hope that we can build a safe place for people like us. You do not need a paper from a doctor to say that you're real, to say that your experiences are real. Your system existing is all the validation that you need. I know it's gonna be hard some days, most days, if not all days, but at least we're not alone, right? This channel is going to be raw, and it's going to be real, and we're gonna cry, and it's not gonna be pretty. We aren't gonna sit here and write scripts for every video so that we can say everything perfectly to all of those out there. Our words are not gonna come across as perfect, but they will be for those that need them. And we won't always make sense, and our stories aren't always going to match together. We're a bunch of puzzle pieces that don't know how we fit. And that's kind of part of the disorder. DID is so broad and so complicated and complex. And this is our version of it. This is our experience of it, combined with our autism and our ADHD. Because that hugely impacted how our system works, how it functions, how it is. So, we hope you feel safe. If you're a bully, we have no qualms about blocking you or ignoring you. We don't really care about your opinion, because that's all it is. Your opinion does not make the hell that we have gone through in our life any less real. We shouldn't have to sit here and lay out our trauma for people, for them to believe us. And we are going to. At some point, I'm sure we will talk about certain things. But that will take time, and we are in no rush. We're working to getting more comfortable. We really want to create a safe place for people like us. We love that there are places for systems, but we haven't found very many that are ADHD specific, and I think that plays a huge part in us. And again, like, even if you aren't ADHD or autistic, are there any other systems that knew when they were kids? Because we knew when we were kids, like, we didn't know what it was and we didn't know what was wrong, but we knew that we were together and we worked together as much as we could back then. Obviously, it was way harder. We didn't have any of these cool tools like Simply Plural and stuff, so trying to do things and trying to keep track of each other's kids was way harder. But we have suffered, and we exist, and that is okay. This is our place. This is our page. If you don't like what we say, if you don't like how we say it, you can go somewhere else. But this page is for us and those like us. Even those that just don't have a voice. If you just want to hear someone be brave and talk about things. I don't know. We hope that you feel safe here. And that we make it through, life is hard.